Welcome back to another video, and in this one I'm finally going to address and do some commenting on some things that were announced on Pokemon Day this year. Earlier this year we had Pokemon Day on February 27th, and during that time we experienced a couple of quite interesting announcements. The first notable announcement was Legends ZA, Pokemon Legends ZA, and there's been a lot of hype around that announcement that we observed, ever since, really. In this announcement, we saw essentially some design documents for a redevelopment project, and then we were greeted to it almost seemed to be a sort of drawn Pikachu, and then like hand drawn, and then a city was essentially shown. This city being a sort of computer generated. At first you weren't quite sure, but it essentially had many different Kalosian or Kalos Pokemon from Gen 6, X and Y, present within the video. And you could see like I don't know if it was like a Talonflame or a Fletchinder was flying. You could see Furfrou everywhere, a big Gyarados at one point. I think an Aegislash was battling a Sylveon at one point, and lots of Flabébé. And at one point the city sort of zooms out, and you see the entire sort of bird's eye view of all the different sections of Lumiose City. And the design documents, which are done in this special Pokemon language, essentially there's a piece of tape obscuring part of the project. It peels off to reveal that it's the Lumiose City redevelopment project. So yeah, really interesting. We thought it was going to be, or at least I think a lot of fans thought, and I also thought it was going to be Pokemon Legends Kyurem, which I've been over a little bit about how that would be a really cool idea with the original dragon as a concept. But yeah, instead of Unova, they went a little bit left field and went for Kalos instead. So yeah, a little bit unusual, but exciting nonetheless. Really cool news. And another thing that we saw in this trailer for this Legends ZA game was right at the end of this redevelopment project. It then takes us to a screen which then shows the logo, a really stylish, cool looking logo, with the iconic Z, which resembles in its design the Pokemon Zygarde. Zygarde being this kind of protector of the environment, like defender of the earth, this type of Pokemon which has numerous cells, and certain percentage of them creates different forms for Zygarde, like just I believe there's like a 1%, a 10%, a 50%, and then 100% complete form. So it's interesting seeing that. And then we also see part of the Z-A or ZA was the A part of the logo. So the A itself has been ripe for speculation as well. So just to go into a little bit more information, the A part of the ZA titling there, the A is this greenish, it almost looks like roots or scales towards the bottom, but again, a very cool logo. And so there's been a lot of speculation over this A. This A is very much, and the YouTuber Tyranitar Tube has done a great job of going over a lot of this Pokemon Legends ZA speculation, ideas. So massive shout out to him. Really enjoy his videos on Legends ZA. But yeah, essentially from some of what he was speaking about is like the A Legendary. It looks very similar to something that we saw in Pokemon X and Y, where Pokemon X and Y there was essentially an ultimate weapon being used, and this has a striking similarity to that ultimate weapon that was shown sort of in the sort of flashbacks and history that you saw in X and Y if you played that on the 3DS. So this is part of that ancient war with AZ and how he set off this weapon and he lost his Floette, this very special Floette. So yeah, you know, all of this kind of ties in, and so how this A part of the ZA titling, that could tie into a new legendary. I know it kind of resembles Mega Rayquaza's face a little bit. So there's that element to it as well, but again, it's all speculation because we haven't seen anything further from the Pokemon Company about what this A Legendary could be, if that's even the direction they're going with it. But clearly, there's an emphasis on this because of just the titling and the styling of the titling as well. So yeah, really exciting stuff because I think a lot of fans, like we had, you know, we had Pokemon Yellow, we had Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Platinum, and yeah, they were kind of like the third game in a trilogy of like those older games, and we never got, for Pokemon X and Y, we never got a lot of people thought we were going to get a Pokemon Z for Zygarde, because you had X for Xerneas and Y for Yveltal and Z for Zygarde. So it's really cool to see that we are finally getting a Pokemon Z game, which a lot of fans speculated might happen, but it never did. You know, Pokemon went on to do Sun and Moon, Ultra Sun and Moon, sort of more sequels, like Black and White 2, that kind of thing, and then obviously went in a different direction. So yeah, really exciting that we are going to finally get like a Pokemon Z game. So going even further into Pokemon Legends ZA, another part of what we saw at the end of the trailer was the sound effect and the visual effect of the Mega Evolution symbol when a Pokemon Mega evolves, and then this sort of symbol appears and then quickly fades away after the climactic and cool transformation sequence. So Mega Evolution will return in Pokemon Legends ZA, which is fantastic. Again, shout out to Tyranitar Tube for some of the ideas that he's been commenting on, posting about these ideas for new Mega Evolution concepts for these new Megas. You know, he's talked about a potential Mega Charizard A and Z, as opposed to all we have now is Charizard X and Charizard Y. Likewise, we have Mega Mewtwo X and Y, but the fact that there may be in the future a Mega Charizard A and Z, and potentially even a Mega Mewtwo A and Z as well, which is fantastic. And they may even do a Mega Blastoise X and a Mega Venusaur X, as well as countless other ones that they could do for concepts that like he's gone over on his channel. So I'd recommend checking out some of his videos, because yeah, they're brilliant. You know, he kind of commented on like there being a potential Mega Dragonite, Mega Dragapult, if you know it, Mega King Gambit, Mega Cleavor, Mega Volcanion, Mega Hooper, Mega Tyrantrum and Aurorus, Mega Dragalge. There could even be, you know, and this could be quite likely, is like Mega Kalos starters. So Mega Delphox, Mega Chestnut. We already have an Ash Greninja, but you know, that being the Battle Bond thing, which is very similar to Mega Evolution, but a full-on new design for Greninja. Everyone loves Greninja, so Mega Greninja as well. That would be fantastic to see that. And so, you know, all of this, you know, and there's even more theories and concepts and stuff coming out all the time. People are constantly creating videos on it, and have for the last few months since the announcement. So yeah, it's sort of, they announced that it was going to be a 2025 release date, which would be really cool if that's kind of coinciding with similar sort of time frame for the release date, like they did with Pokemon Legends Arceus, which I think a lot of people really enjoyed and was really well received. So, you know, a lot of people have also said, you know, with it being released in 2025, we've recently had, you know, talks and murmurings of a Switch 2 being in the works. It is going to be on the normal Switch, from what I could gather from other people, seeing as we saw in that trailer announcement, the Switch logo. There was no like Switch 2 logo there. So if you have a normal Switch and you're interested in this game, more than likely you'll be able to play it on like your original Switch or Switch OLED, which is really good news. And you know, potentially on the Switch 2 as well. But going back into the game itself, like what else to expect, you know, I was just talking about like the Kalos starters, the ones that you received originally in X and Y. You did also receive the Kanto starters when you went to Lumia City for the first time. If I remember correctly, yeah. The professor for the game gives you those. So you got 2 sets of starters in that game. You got the Kalos ones, and you got the Kanto ones as well, which is cool. But yeah, for it being a Legends style game, we saw in Legends Arceus you had a random sort of selection of 3 starters. You had Oshawott, Cyndaquil, and Rowlet. Yeah. So in this new game, Pokemon TPCI, the Pokemon Company International, are going to give us probably just they won't choose those same starters. I highly doubt. If they do, that would be, I mean, they could just give them all new final evolutions at the end and make them regional. But you know, I think a lot of fans think it's going to be different starters already out there, so ones which aren't new, but then, you know, they're going to evolve in different ways. So, you know, they could take just I don't know, just one off the top of my head, like Totodile. Could take Totodile in a completely different direction with its final evolution with Feraligatr. But you know, we don't know. Like, they can always surprise us. You know, these Legends games were, you know, doing a little bit different things, so they could give us entirely new starters. You know, ones we've never seen before. It's unlikely because it's not Generation 10 yet. You know, we've just had Scarlet and Violet, so I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think we can definitely expect to see remixed ancestors of other established characters in the Pokemon world, not just the Pokemon themselves, but the human characters, as well as these regional forms of different Pokemon. I feel like we will definitely see origin forms for Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde. I know a lot of people have kind of been thinking, different percentage forms for Zygarde. I think that would be really interesting to see other percentages, rather than just the dog, the kind of weird squid-like Z dragon thing, and the Optimus Prime, or the little squishy little cell. But seeing other different percentage forms of him would be really cool to see, or even like a super complete version of him, where it's like not 100% but 200%, and also to see what that A legendary is like, because it that could be like the sort of antagonist or deuteragonist to Zygarde, which I think would be very interesting. I think a lot of people are quite excited to see what that A legendary, if it is a thing, turns out to be. So yeah, like I say, that deuteragonist A legendary, that's going to be really cool. See if it's like a like a tree influenced one, or with those scales, or related to that ultimate weapon, which is kind of like symbolic of like a flower when it opens up when you get towards the end of X and Y. Because that's that other thing, is like the sort of Giovanni for that game, the Lysander dude. His plan is to like launch the weapon and stuff, take the powers of Xerneas and Yveltal, I think. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see like his ancestor, to see AZ potentially. Some people don't think that we are going to see AZ in his Floette, but we might do. You never know, because it's been 3,000 years. There's that quote at the end of X and Y when you fight AZ. So 3,000 years. I don't know. Maybe that's too far back in time for the setting of the game, because you can see in the trailer that there are sort of street lights, street lamps. So we're not sure. This could be kind of closer to the modern era than what we saw in Legends Arceus, where that was clearly more feudal Japanese in the ancient past. This could be very, very different. This could be a lot more forward in time to more kind of industrial revolution, the age of that age. So yeah, there's a lot of ongoing speculation, theories, discussion, hype, and a lot of genuine excitement for the game by fans, by people who really want to find out more. So, I'm really, really excited for this game, and cannot wait to see more and more announcements taking place by Pokemon Company and Nintendo. So I encourage you guys, if you are interested, to go check it out, and I think a lot of you may have already if you are interested in it. The other big announcement was on Pokemon Day this year, February 27th, was the Pokemon TCG Pocket. This being kind of a new take on the Pokemon TCG Live, or the online client, the one which you can play sort of mobily on your mobile phone. And it showed like a different style of the cards. They have slight style changes on those card designs, but you also saw people playing on their mobile phones, the detailed treatment on these rare cards, and even just like the normal cards, the sparkles, the foil, the slight style changes on the card design as well, with this brand new art, and it looks gorgeous. And the immersive sort of going into the extended artwork with this one example they showed was this Pikachu card, and you could you by pressing the phone screen, you kind of went into the artwork, and you could see like other Pikachu, other Pokemon, and we'd like taking you through this sort of like diorama almost. And it was really, really cool. Like, the art is really getting great, like honestly great for some of these cards. Like, in the past we've had some great art, but you know, we're getting just really amazing artists illustrating these Pokemon and the backgrounds. So yeah, I'm sure it's going to have like some kind of free to play elements. They'll probably give you some packs for free. It's going to be on the phone. You're going to be able to like trade, and it looks like, from what I've heard from some people, there's going to be like a whole market to it potentially. So it's not just like a Hearthstone where you're just giving them money, but there's going to be some kind of market to these cards. I believe so. If there isn't, then you could obviously like sell your account and stuff like that. But I think there's got to be some form of like trading to this, and potentially some you know, there might be some kind of market for this. There has to be, like, at this point there's got to be, because for a while it was like code cards and these things. But yeah, with TCG Pocket, again, really exciting news. It's going to be interesting to kind of see that moving forward, and just how people kind of come across it. You know, it's going to be like a slightly different experience to actually playing the actual trading card game, but I think it's going to be very similar, and I think a lot of people are going to potentially just pick it up as like a casual game on your phone. You know, something to download, something to play when you've got a few minutes here and there. Maybe if you're traveling, if you're commuting, if you're going on long distance travels and things, or even just, you know, at a cafe or something. I think a lot of people are going to hop on this. I don't know if this is going to replace the TCG Live, because I know that's a big thing for people at the moment, is playing the live, or even like paper. I don't think this is going to replace the paper TCG. There's enough people, young and old, playing that, but time will tell. You never know. Like, I know for some collectors it made people kind of a little bit alarmed, because you know, this may completely change the entire dynamics of, you know, buying Pokemon cards, if it's all going to be, you know, on your phone now, as opposed to, you know, going out and, you know, grabbing starter decks, buying cards online, booster boxes, things like this. You know, if it's all going to be on your phone, you know. So yeah, again, interesting news, you know, on Pokemon Day this year. And yeah, I was really excited to talk about this, and really wanted to sort of give my 2 cents about it all, and just express my passion and excitement for it, because yeah, I cannot wait for even more announcements, new announcements, fresh stuff, interesting news, exciting stuff like this, because there is a lot of stuff going on in the Pokemon hobby. And yeah, can't wait for more official stuff, unofficial stuff as well, because there's like, you know, there's always constantly new stuff coming out of this hobby. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Appreciate you tuning in, and I'm really happy to finally comment on some of these official things from Pokemon's Pokemon Day from Pokemon Company. What do you guys think? Are you excited for some of these things? Let me know if you are. And yeah, thank you for watching.